I am Feel It.
And I am Fix It. And we talk about life.
And stuff and things.
With the occasional rant.
Which you will have no problem doing.
Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon or good night. Whatever it is, wherever you are, we hope you're having a good one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have taken a nap.
I will be later.
Yes, you will, and I probably will not last that very long, much longer tonight. So, one of those days, dreary. I mean, it doesn't bother me that it's dreary and cold, but not sunny and perky and
No, it's
all
not.
that.
No, the cold. I don't like being chilly.
We are not in northern Michigan, northern lower, or the UP that is getting feet
Yeah, they're getting
of snow today.
They're getting hammered today.
I'm so
Hammered.
sorry
Absolutely hammered.
to my family and clients in the UP and northern lower Michigan. I am so sorry.
Yep. Well, I mean, and you go across the lake west of us, and there's been tornadoes.
Yes, but
and
wild
massive
couple days.
hailstorms.
Wild couple days.
Yeah, it's very, very, very dramatic weather.
So after last weekend when I had a really just rough couple days with some of the barometric changes, though it was very nice weather compared to today, I started to download a barometer app. And I've been watching it the last few days. Now, yesterday, mind you, yeah, we were doing stuff. I mean, it was nowhere near some of the heavy work that we did to pack this house, to move stuff into the pod. Just up and around and doing stuff. And I felt it throughout the day just getting worse and worse and worse. By about 5 o'clock, I felt like I was going to throw up. I'm like, wow, my head just killing me. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what is this? And then I looked at the barometer app last night, and it was all over the board all day. But much higher. Like, I don't understand the dial and the numbers, okay? I'm not smart.
Some of it, I guess.
Higher than it was the last 2 days, because I've been watching it. And then today, it's a little bit lower, and I do feel a little bit better. I definitely think there's something to it.
Yes. Well, and for me, it's not, I mean, the weather affects me as well, but it's more the dramatic shift that affects me.
It's been dramatic the last few days.
Yeah, it's been,
for sure.
It's been swinging back and forth quite a bit this last week, and there have been a few days that I was definitely feeling it.
Like, I don't think asking for the low-dose naltrexone dose to be upped would even matter. I mean, that's a next month conversation, but I've definitely not been right since we were in the home that we made the offer on and had inspected that had the mold. I've definitely not been right since then, but I think it just slammed into the weather changes, and it's been a crazy couple weeks. I'd like to think the worst of it is over, but, it's Michigan. So, and it's only mid-March. It's not over, unfortunately. But I do feel for anybody in northern lower Michigan and the UP, yes, that got the feet of snow today. That is not what we got. We got some rain, we got some thunder.
Yeah, some decent chill out in the house under a blanket watching dumb movies kind of weather.
No, not movies.
I know, we were.
So, not a sponsor. But go ahead and give your shout out, because apparently you've been a fan for months, and you've just introduced him to me, and I don't know how many hours we sat and watched that.
Well, on YouTube, The Fat Electrician.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. He talks about military history for the most part. not just, but there are characters the people that are characters, but individuals that had a marked, just an absolutely drastic effect in their theater of war, or through a campaign, or whatever aspect they were involved in, that didn't quite get the notoriety that they should for what they pulled off. And sometimes it's people you've heard the name of, but what you've heard is so far less than what they actually did because people don't believe it. It's like, there's no way one person did all of that. Well, here's the facts. And his delivery is very unique.
It's very entertaining.
It is.
And it engages you.
Yes.
And it is true that I was not a huge history buff, and I still am not. I can have an appreciation, most certainly, but not like the heights of you or your uncle that, that was a level. Well, you have two uncles that had a...
Yeah, yeah.
One has passed away and one's alive.
And history was never really my bag. That's a really old phrase.
Yeah. Where'd that come from?
But I think chunk of it was in school. It's just memorize these dates and these locations and regurgitate it for the test. Yeah. And it's boring. For sure. It's not real. It's not alive. It's just a really the history that they taught was basically an outline of what happened. Remember the outline, and not the realities of it, the stories behind it, the people involved. There's one of them that we just watched was Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yeah, I didn't make it all the way to the end because we needed to do this, but I'll finish it later.
Everybody's heard that story, but you've only heard like 10% of the story. There's so much more that went on, and there was so much more.
Portrait of him crossing the Delaware.
And he gets into it, and he spends a lot of time and effort researching it, getting as much information as he can, and as much corroborating information as he possibly can, and then he delivers it all in a very unique and very entertaining way.
I was like,
and some of the characters he focuses on are just. They're people that you just like. I would love to meet this guy. Holy crap, that's amazing.
You say characters because it's like a story, but these were like people.
Yeah, they're people, but history. I mean, like they were characters. It's like some of the individuals he focuses on. It's like they need to make a movie of this, but there's no way that they would put all of this in a movie because nobody would believe that this is possible. It's like, well, he actually did it. This actually happened.
It is entertaining though.
It is, and it's history. Like I always said, I was never interested in history until the History Channel came out, and they were actually talking about history. But it was like him going in depth and in detail and focusing on the people and the situations and the motivations at the time, and it was way more interesting than in 1747 the accents across the. It's like I don't care.
Like the Ben Stein voice. God bless him.
Yeah.
No,
which actually our history teacher was kind of like that.
He was. I do recall that, and he was easily distracted.
Mm-hmm.
But the algorithms. You get it. You get stalked.
Mm-hmm.
You watch 1, 4 more pop up.
Yep.
So I don't know how many hours we sat there. No, I don't think we ever watched a movie. We watched Church online. And then we talked to our daughter for a little bit, logistics of moving and what's coming up, and her future studies and what that needs to look like. And, a semi-serious conversation. And then I don't know what happened that we turned it back on, and we just, that's probably the most missed hours I have spent staring at YouTube. And I couldn't tell you how long.
Mm-hmm.
What just happened? Hours.
Yep.
And then some train ride. There wasn't really a whole train ride from Miami to Alaska. And then there was something about Michigan, Lake Michigan,
Yeah, the Michigan Triangle.
Yeah. That was on the, what is the name of that show? Dan Aykroyd was the host.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yep, I don't remember.
I don't remember. Anyway,
And we listen to the spooky
so many
stuff.
hours.
It's not that interesting to me.
It popped up.
I know. I'm just saying.
I like Michigan. I like Michigan stuff. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, long day doing nothing, and yeah, not a bad thing. Yesterday was productive, and I figure we're going at a decent pace.
Mm-hmm. We'll be ready.
I think so. Next weekend, more needs to happen because then the weekend after that, I will be busy on a retreat for my work where I volunteer. That'll take up most of my Saturday, but
and then the week after that, we're going to be
moving.
We're going to be very busy.
We'll be moving. So it's the pace. It's just keeping up with it because we still live here.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we need to be able to access and not? And I'm assessing that, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as we had the definitive word that we will not be able to enter the home earlier than contractual obligation, though we were cleared to close sooner.
We never really covered how keys are getting exchanged.
That would be at closing, I would imagine. Or we will find out what the arrangements will be at closing.
Yeah.
Like we had to tell our realtor what our people were to expect.
Yep.
Like that's the same premise.
I'm aware. I'm just...
Yeah.
This individual does not seem to be as cooperative.
There's a couple getting a divorce, and the man still living in the home, husband still living in the home, that has not been quite cooperative. No.
Yeah. He's selling, but I'm getting every distinct impression that he doesn't want to be.
Until last legal moment we are able to possess. Yeah. We will not be given it a moment sooner. So at 9 a.m. on the 2nd, we will be able to take possession. But the closing is this Wednesday, in which then we would be able to at least ask, I assume. Is he going to leave it somewhere? Like, how is this going to look? Is he going to leave the door unlocked? Like, what is this going to be?
Yep.
I don't know. Is he going to put up a cot in the living room and just sleep there all night just to say he did? I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
No idea. I wouldn't be at all surprised.
I don't know what's happening.
But one can hope not.
So, that was an incredible frustration and disappointment, as then we know our buyers, the new owners of the home we are currently residing in, are waiting on us, and we were really trying hard to get out of here sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Really for their sake more than anything else. It's just not going to happen. So we will be in a very tight window, but okay, I guess now that we know.
Yep.
We'll do what we need to do.
Yep.
Finally had a good phone call to get some good information about the HOA rules. Is that a lot to wrap the head around? Yes. Is it, that did I ever think I would? No. Would my father be rolling over in his grave if he had one? Yes.
You can hear the dust shifting in the little box.
He really, this guy's telling me everything we need permission for. So he basically gave me verbal permission to go ahead and put the kayaks, tie them up underneath the deck. Because that wouldn't be too much of an eyesore. But don't leave them out on the lawn, and don't just leave them laying on the ground in front of the back door. Oh my gosh.
Not a problem.
Oh.
Not a problem.
Okay. This is going to be an adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
And then it dawned on me, as he was explaining to me, we mentioned the lion in a previous episode. One of the neighbors has several statues, right? Well, we thought, oh, that's cool, so I guess that's not a big deal. Well, it turns out it kind of is, and he is currently at his limit of however many he has.
A bunch. And big.
But I thought about it, and I was like, hold on, that means I have to ask permission for putting up and where to put up the angel statue that was my mother's?
I'm not asking, it's just going up.
And the metal, arch behind it that also has an angel on it?
It's just going up.
Can I ask permission? Seriously?
Nope, that ain't happening. It's just going up.
I mean, I get
in front of the window.
changing your house, but decorating your lawn apparently is also a thing.
Yeah,
Permanent decoration.
sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're talking about like a giant lion statue, sure,
I wanted one of those.
I can appreciate that.
Now I'm done. Now I'm like, that's cool. How about if we just worry about the angels and that's fine.
I'll figure some stuff out.
I was like, what? Come on. Oh, this is hard. This is going to be a lot.
Sure. But it's going to be a lot regardless.
I wonder if we ask permission to actually put up like the Cousin Eddie mannequin dressed up like, doing the hose at the end of it. Do you think they'll allow it? I don't think so. I mean, the Crappersville scene. I don't think that's. I mean, it would be great to just ask, though. What do you think? You want to just ask just to find out? Would be allowed?
Maybe
that would be fun. I do kind of want to hear the answer. If we like show them a photo that we took of like that house we went by in a completely different area.
Yes.
Right. But we've shown this to people and they're like, oh my gosh, that needs to happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, I can say the new place isn't going to have the deer mailbox.
No, that's not happening.
Unfortunately.
Nope. No, unfortunately. I mean, you could probably put something on your post or something to be cute, maybe.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment. The dog's going to be an adjustment. Everything.
Put some antlers on it. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I bet you could get away with it at Christmas, but not year round.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
It is.
There's a level of excitement, yes. More just how much energy to conserve to do this. Because it's a lot. Yes, we've enjoyed the break, but it's kind of like that final, like, all right, some things have just got to happen, and I'll be sitting down Tuesday and making all the phone calls about utilities and making all the plans and paying double utilities for a couple days on a house. That's awesome. That's always a good thing. The last few days here and then the first few days at the other place, so not that big of a deal, just logistics.
Yep.
Hoping for decent weather. Gonna keep an eye on that. Hoping the help doesn't back out, because I'm not sure what we do if they did.
Yeah. We get creative.
It kind of does make me feel like we should have an arrangement just in case.
We get creative. Well, but like, I've got I got the 5x10 foot trailer, and we've got the Acadia and the Pilot that can both fold all the seats down, and you got a lot of storage space.
We'll be all right.
So one way or the other, we'll be okay. Yeah, we'll be okay.
It's just a lot. That's all.
That would be a lot of trips, but we'd be okay.
It's just a lot, but we'll be okay. One way or the other, we'll be okay.
We'll be fine.
Okay. So.
Not worrying.
No, not worried. Just over it before we've even begun.
True enough.
Okay, so I had you go ahead and sort through some of my potential options, right? And then you chose one, which did catch my eye. Of course, that's why I saved it. But the prompt says, truth is like a surgery. It hurts but cures. Lie is like a painkiller. It gives instant relief but has side effects forever.
Mm-hmm.
What caught your eye on this one?
Like I said, I like analogies. I like analogies a lot, especially a good, well-formulated one where it can really apply on a deeper level. Some just work on a surface level, and the minute you start to dig into it, it falls apart. But I think that one works. You can dig deeper with that, and it still works. But I'm a very I'm a little bit of an absolutist when it comes to being honest. I know, big shock.
So shocking.
So shocking. The If you're trying to spare somebody's feelings by not telling them the truth, you're not sparing their feelings. The truth will come out eventually. The truth comes out. It always seems to come out. And it'll come out when it will do the most damage to the situation. So it's like, yeah, you know what? It's like, I want everybody to feel good and be okay for right now. So I'm just going to, not share. And then down the line, it comes out. And now the people that you weren't honest with now know the truth. And now they're not only hurt because of whatever situation it was or whatever it happened to be that you were lying about, but now you lied to them and now they can't trust you, and that hurts them more. You're not lessening the pain, you're amplifying the pain. And the longer it takes and the bigger it was, the more it hurts and the more damage it does. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to give the truth in a way that's... you can tell somebody something pretty bad in a way that's still caring and compassionate. And yeah, sometimes the truth is going to hurt. If the truth hurts, it's going to hurt. But it can be delivered with love and caring and compassion. And it's still going to suck. But in the long term, knowing the truth, you can make good decisions and in this case, good health decisions on what to do. You see on like TV shows a lot, specifically medical dramas, where somebody's got terminal cancer, but their partner doesn't know. And they're keeping it from them because I might only have 6 months left, but I want it to be a good 6 months. And everybody's like, that's a bad idea.
Terrible idea.
Do you know how and I'm not saying personal experience in life. A sudden surprise death and a long drawn out one, they both hurt a lot and they both hurt very differently. You find out somebody's sick, they have cancer and it's killing them. And you can start the grieving process because you're losing that individual. The illness is slowly stealing them from you. And that hurts, and it's a drawn out hurt. And it's sequential until they're gone. And then there's things like a car accident. They're there one day, everything's fine and dandy, and the next second they're gone. And that's a tragic, just slamming the door kind of, it hurts. But and both of those hurt, and they're both very real and very hard to get through one way or the other. But if that person with cancer told you everything was fine and everything is dandy and things are just wonderful, and then they die and you find out, well, they've been fighting with cancer for the last year and you didn't have any clue, and now you feel you were lied to by that individual, and that hurts. And then you lost that individual and you weren't there for them when they needed you, and that hurts. And you just keeps it. There's all these nuances of pain and damage that occurred because they weren't honest. And in that situation, I can kind of appreciate the desire to not tell people that you're sick like that. I've seen it firsthand where an individual talks about something bad that's going on, an illness or whatever, relationship issues or personal issues or personality issues or neurological issues, whatever it happens to be, and people stop treating them like the person they were and start treating them like their dysfunction. You cease being a person and they see you as an illness. And that's very difficult for the individual going through it because they're still them dealing with something. And instead, people treat them like they're their illness, and it happens to take the form of this person they used to know. And I can appreciate wanting to avoid that. But the amount of damage it does, that kind of dishonesty, I'll be gentle and use that form of dishonesty, might alleviate a small amount of pain for you, but it causes a great deal of pain for everybody that's still around you.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
And the real dark side of that is all the pain that you're causing by doing that, you don't have to deal with. It's already over. For you, but everybody else now has to deal with it. And it's like it was at a fair trade. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not it's one of those, I can understand it. I don't agree with it. I can definitely understand it. Like that the analogy that is, I like that analogy because you take the painkillers and it feels good right now, or at least takes the pain away right now. You lie and it's like you lie about something to make the other person feel better. It's like, okay, the pain's gone. Well, maybe the pain is gone, but it's not actually gone. It's covered. It's been suppressed. But the underlying issue is still in the background. Whatever it was that caused that is still there. And it's still going to have to be dealt with.
So, in my world, I deal with a lot of lies.
Mm-hmm.
And I've dealt with enough clients now that there's a theme. I'm always a proponent for communication and honesty. But sometimes there's the client that will come in and say, and we'll have talked about it. We'll have talked about it at length. And then they'll, go ahead and tell me that, but they've already lied. They've already taken steps to make it detrimentally worse against everything that we had talked about and that they would have agreed that would have been better for them to do. They'll just go ahead and do it anyway. And it's for a myriad of reasons. But what it all comes down to is fear.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fear.
Often. You're afraid of what might be.
So truth and the detriment that you're creating, the grave you're digging yourself, so to speak,
mm-hmm.
is easier in the moment than just being honest. But yet, we have already talked about that, what the future would look like without the honesty.
Yep.
And in the moment, they still will choose it. I've got a few right now that are actively doing it with their spouses, and it blows my mind. It drives me nuts, and I think, man, what are you paying me for? Because it's certainly to not listen or even follow through with what you're committing to. It's not so much a commitment to what they're saying to me. Mm-hmm. It's the commitment to themselves.
Yes.
That they're completely falling apart on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, that's okay. So there's just, and I'm not talking like adultery level even.
Sure.
Use money usually, like lying about what you're doing with your time and your money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always gambling. Like I've got one guy that just doesn't want to be honest about some sporting team that he joined that he doesn't think his wife would be real happy about. Well, he knows she wouldn't, right? But he loves it.
Okay.
And she threw a fit when he wanted to do it. And part of that was money, but part of it was for if he hurt himself, and it's just like, okay, but you're like dying on the inside, man. Like, what is this? What are we talking about here? Like, how did this happen?
Yeah. And, in
that's just one lie.
Sure.
So,
in our lives, little dishonesties like that have always, any dishonesties between us has always blown up and turned into something terrible. Always. And that we had to deal with. And you're going to have to deal with the repercussions regardless. Like in this, using the analogy, it's like if you got a broken leg, you got a crack in your freaking shin bone, and you take painkillers, you might not feel it, but that crack in your shin bone's still there. And you're now, since it doesn't hurt, you're walking on it, and you're pushing it, and you're making it worse.
Of course, it's in my example, it's a view of a greater issue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, most definitely.
Within the relationship that you wouldn't be honest to begin with.
Most definitely. And
some people, either they're not honest with themselves or they're not honest with a loved one.
That's usually
both.
Fundamental part of it right there is the honesty with oneself.
Usually.
It's really hard to be honest to somebody else when you're in the process of lying to yourself.
And the motivation, and just the few I can think of off the top of my head, it's all the same, right? It's growth. If you're telling the truth, it would be growth. It would be, it'd be sparing yourself the cost of the lie, right? Not even the painkiller. I guess to some degree with some of my clients you could say, or in general, like it could be a dopamine hit. You're just so used to that false sense of adventure and I'm getting away with this thing, even though I know it's absolutely horrible.
Well, I think that very well could be part of it.
It's a few of my clients.
And I think a part of it is we've been, as a society, BS'd into thinking that you should always, happiness is the goal and you should never feel bad. That everything should go good. You shouldn't have to struggle. Everything should be perfect all the time. Like, no, I'm sorry. This is the real, I'm going to quote one of the best movies of all time. Life is pain. Anybody that's telling you otherwise is selling you something.
Princess Bride.
From The Princess Bride. Everything of value has a cost, and that cost is often discomfort. And, to get money to buy nice stuff, you have to do things you don't want to do. That's why you're getting paid to do them. If you enjoyed doing it, you wouldn't get paid, or you'd be paying to do it. If you have to get paid to do it, you don't enjoy doing it, you don't like it, that's suffering. It might be minor suffering. But not all jobs suck horribly. But if they stopped paying you and you wouldn't do it anymore, there's a little bit of suffering involved. The best things in your life come from overcoming the struggle. It's like, yeah, you're going through a bad time. Our relationship that we have right now is what it is because we went through a bunch of crap and figured out how to survive it.
We did.
We got through to the other side. If we weren't being honest with each other, if we were telling each other lies about all of the crap we were going through and dealing with, we wouldn't have. We would have crashed on the rocks and gone under. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. It would have blown up. It would have crashed and burned, period. Now, at the same time, that doesn't mean being brutally honest.
Okay.
Okay, and I mean this, okay. We're two different individuals. We have different likes and dislikes. We have different habits. We have things. And they butt heads. And there comes a point where you just have to accept it.
Yes.
And you get on with your day.
Okay.
Now, and I'm going to make it very petty. I'm going to talk about something very, very petty.
I'm ready.
Okay. You squeeze the toothpaste tube from the middle. That drives me absolutely, completely batty. And I wish it was rational. It's not rational. It's not rational. In any way, shape, or form. It drives me nuts.
Oh, I got one.
So, and it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, and we're laughing because we know it's absolutely pointless. But at the same time, in my own, like I could go absolutely ape about that, and
because
like,
in your tism world, you do get very ornery about things.
yeah, and that's one of those. It's like, you know what, I had like, okay, that's never going to change. It's never going to change. I mean, it was over 20 years ago I asked you to stop doing that, and that hasn't any. I don't even. That would the next time you brushed your teeth, right in the middle. Like, am I okay? You know, that's not going to change. I can be absurd about it and be brutally honest about how much that irks me, or you know, I can just get over myself and
have some semblance of like control.
Sure, and I mean, you know, how was dinner? Well, that was the most god awful thing I've ever eaten. It's like, you know, no, that was really interesting. That was really...
Interesting.
Like,
okay, I've got one.
It's like okay, you made something a little while ago, and it's like, I think it's too salty. Yeah, the 2 gallons of water I drank after eating it.
But all you had to do was say it's too salty.
Well, I think you knew it was too salty. Would my... And I was like, it's fine. I can eat it.
So you have this odd sense of when it's appropriate to be honest.
Well, no, but it's like would there have been any benefit? And would you have learned anything? You already thought it was too salty, which means the next time you make something like that, you're not going to add as much salt. There's no benefit in me being brutally honest about that. It would make me sound ungrateful. And I wasn't ungrateful. I'm very grateful. Every time you make food, I am very grateful.
Considering it's like every day you eat.
And yeah, often, yes. And I make a point of being grateful.
Yes, you do.
Even if it's like, okay, I don't want to eat that.
And then
it's like, you know what? My
gratefulness
for that food trumps how much it's like, I don't want that anymore. I can't eat. And you know what? I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to eat it, and I'm going to get on with my day.
You are better
because there is no point. It's not. I'm not being dishonest with you. I'm choosing to be grateful rather than petty. There is a point where it's like, yeah, I can be. I'm not being dishonest by not saying, because it's pointless and petty. You can be brutally honest about things that don't matter. You can be rude and mean about things that don't matter. It's like, if you can't, you need to be able to deliver it. Anything that you say needs to be honest and with love. If you ask if it's too salty, I'm like, yeah, it's a little salty. I'll be fine. And I will be. And I was. Sure. And I ate it. And I drank a lot of water. And the toothpaste tube thing, it's like, yeah, really simple fix. We happen to like different toothpastes.
So true. See?
So I have a tube of mine that's squeezed from the end.
There you go.
And you have the tube of yours that's all mushed in the middle. And we're fine.
Right.
We're fine.
Sure. I have one. So,
sure.
As your daughter had witnessed, and she's all like, oh, you know, you're just starting something. And they've heard this stuff before, right? Like, I'll just say something out of nowhere just to kind of be silly. Baby, am I the most beautiful woman in the world you've ever seen? And you know what you have never said in over 29 years? And it used to hurt me. It used to be very hurtful. You have never said yes. Ever. Because then halfway through our marriage, I realized in your tism brain, you can't tell a lie. You're not going to tell me that I am when I'm not. So clearly you've seen someone more beautiful. So you're not going to say that I'm the most beautiful, right? And I used to be so hurt by that, right? That's not petty. That's not, you say petty as the toothpaste. Okay, I didn't think my feelings were petty. That like my husband couldn't tell me I was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. And then when it finally made sense that you were never going to say it, I accepted it for what it was. But I'll still ask you. Now, and then what did I say yesterday was the setup? What did I tell your daughter?
Usually, hey, watch this.
If you ever said yes, I would know there was something wrong with you. Because you have never said yes. And I'd be like, do you have dementia? Do we need to take you somewhere?
Well, okay. Well, and here's part of the reason why I don't say yes just to appease you.
To appease me?
Because
it's not true.
You know, you have your own self-image.
I do.
And you don't see yourself like that.
It's so helpful when you don't tell me I am.
And if I said it, you would know I wasn't being truthful.
Yeah, I did not in the beginning. It took me about 10 years to figure it out. Yeah.
And usually, how do I respond?
I'm the most beautiful wife you've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
You make it nice and literal.
Yes. Because you are my wife.
Yeah.
And I love you.
Yeah.
And you are beautiful to me.
Yes, thank you, sweetie. And I'm the only wife you've ever had.
And you are the only wife I'll ever have.
Oh, goodness. So what are you going to say to the next one?
To what? There isn't going to be a next one. Unless you're planning on keeling over in the next couple of weeks. I don't really...
Oh, so then there might be another one. Okay. Okay.
Hey, the future holds what the future holds. I'm just not making any plans for that, okay?
Okay, let's bring this back around.
I might need... Hey, you know what? The new house is expensive. I might need somebody to, take somebody on to help manage that.
Sugar mama?
Yeah.
Okay, here's
happen.
The reality of the tism brain, right? She got anxious. So Dory just brought in a Kleenex that she's half eaten, and she decided to shred it on the floor because she got anxious. I think she's trying to get our attention. Ew. She got it out of my bedroom waste paper basket, which is only Kleenexes, on purpose because we have learned that Dory does this. Well, maybe there's a couple fabric softener sheets in there, but anyway, truth and lie for you. You are very black and white. Very black and white. Mm-hmm. So it's not even just phrasing something a certain way or dropping out certain facts. To you, that's a lie. But it's interesting that you can say that to me, right? And it's truth. That's how it's truth, right? You have seen other women that are more beautiful. But your way of softening it for me is doing the whole, but you're the most beautiful wife I've ever had.
There are very attractive people the world over. I don't count myself among them. Necessarily. I'm not, anyway. I'm not butt ugly, but I wouldn't marry any of them.
Aw, thanks, honey.
None.
But you're not a looks is only the thing that matters kind of guy.
No. Because, looks change.
Yeah.
If you fall in love with the way somebody looks, in a couple of years they're going to look different. What are you going to do then?
So true.
And then 10 years later, they're going to look different than that. And then 20 years later, they're going to look different than that. It's like if you're solely based on what they look like, you're going to end up like Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like you're in your 50s and you're still dating 19-year-olds.
Okay, I don't know anything about that, but all right.
Yeah. Take a look. I don't know if he's ever dated anybody over the age of 25.
All right.
And if he has, he didn't make it public. But it's like if it's shallow and meaningless and pointless. It's very superficial. I've never wanted superficial.
Okay, but I was trying to get to the truth lie thing. Yeah. But thank you, sweetheart.
So, again, truth. It's like honest truth. It's like I never wanted something superficial. I wanted something that mattered. And the fact that you're adorable doesn't hurt.
Aw, thanks, honey.
Like I said, it's like I watch you talk, and your nose twitches when you talk sometimes.
Which I think is what started it. It was like some kind of commercial or something. It was an ad for something that...
Sure.
Something about the nose twitching. And...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the tip of your nose goes up and down sometimes when you talk. It's really cute.
Youngest is like, don't fall for it, Dad. If he ever says yes, I'll take him in somewhere and get a neuropsych. You've all heard it now.
Probably wouldn't hurt to have a baseline anyway, but still.
Whoa. But yes, I have learned to maneuver and understand that neurodivergence does certainly play a part in the perception of truth and lie.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a few clients right now, a couple specifically, and then there's one that's an individual, that to try to convey that the difference in how, especially adult neurodivergence, there's no convincing this woman that her partner, her boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, as an adult, likely has something,
Mm-hmm.
and it is shaping everything about him.
Yes, as it will.
In what she has seen has been the affect of that, in his literalness, in his black and whiteness, in his inability to be able to express emotion and convey emotion well. Regardless if it's trauma, it doesn't matter. It's the affect, is how it presents. It's what it is, right? Though I could dare say he has both from what he's described to me, traumatic childhood and then some level of neurodivergence. Why? Because he said he didn't talk till he was like 3 and he didn't walk until after that. So those are, pretty big red flags. Mm-hmm. But regardless, a man of his age has adapted coping mechanisms. Mm-hmm. And in this relationship, there are certain things that have just become blaringly obvious. And there's no convincing her that he isn't lying to her. Like, he really isn't aware sometimes of how he sounds, what he does, what it looks like he's doing. Mm-hmm. He isn't aware. I don't think that's crap.
Yeah,
but there's no convincing her.
And
it's not my job to try to convince her. I've done my best to portray the information.
Well, and we view the world through our own lenses. So when we see other people doing things, we see them doing things based off of what we think, what would make us act like that.
Well, and
so if she's seeing some behavior, and the only way that I would do that is if I was doing it for X, Y, Z. To her, that means that he's doing it for X, Y, and Z. So he's doing it on purpose, and he's ignoring it on purpose, or this behavior is intentional. And because if she was doing that same thing, it would be.
Maybe.
And, I mean, that's just basic human nature. It's like until you learn to... I've spent a lot of time trying to intentionally see things from other people's viewpoints. Otherwise, for the same reason, in that situation, if I was doing that behavior to you, that would be intentional. That kind of behavior would only come out of me because I intended to do that to you. And I had to I realized most of the time that is incorrect. There's the old saying, never attest to malice what can be explained through ignorance, which we've talked about.
Yes.
They did that because they're in their own little world, and in their own little world, that was the best course of action in that second. But has nothing to do with, there's no planning, there's no forethought, it's not intentional, their behavior is not based on anything.
But even leading through conversation and having explanation given and having them process it together, it's just, it's been very interesting to watch.
Yep. It's like you're attesting, in that case, you're attesting to him behavior that, and I'm going to say this as the most generic statement ever, you're explaining his behavior through a female mindset. And his behavior is defined by a male mindset. The things that matter to you, the big things that stand out to you, aren't even on his radar. And the things that are on his radar aren't on yours. So you can't ascribe to him his behavior your motivations, because they're not the same. You just can't. But that's a little off topic. That's just my 2 cents on that little situation.
But I appreciate what you're saying. It's but
still got that little echo in here. It's very annoying. I miss
sorry.
the bookcases. I miss the bookcases. I don't know how well it's showing up in here, but I hear it.
There is something to be said for understanding that, yes, as you said, gender matters. It went male, female. That doesn't matter as far as perception.
Yeah.
Just as well as if there happens to be any mental illness, significance of the mental illness.
Or, I mean, mental illness and neurodivergence, not necessarily the same thing.
No, they're not the same thing.
There's overlap.
Or the severity thereof.
There tends to be overlap, but that...
But I'm not talking like paranoia where you just think everybody's lying to you.
Mm-hmm. Which that's a thing too. And often that's a learned response I've noticed in a lot of people. It's like they're so used to being lied to that they just don't believe anybody anymore. It's the safest way that they can proceed in life. I just assume that you're lying and I move forward.
But I also think that self-image plays a huge part too.
Or they just watch a lot of like Hallmark movies and everybody's lying to everybody and it always blows up in their face.
That is true. I mean, if you want to talk about how truth and lies are socially perceived or explained.
Watch a rom-com. Basically any
that
rom-com.
That is true.
There's a lie near the beginning and it unravels at the end and it blows up in everybody's face. And then they have to spend the last 10 minutes of whatever show it happens to be.
Listen, The Proposal is an amazing movie. I don't care what you say.
I enjoy The Proposal as well, but that is so stereotypical.
It is.
A small lie blows up. If there was a little, that one is the beginning of it is probably the most. It wasn't a lie; it was a misunderstanding of a comment,
and then it became a lie. It's a great movie.
It's sure.
It is a great movie.
Considering it's a movie I've probably watched like 30 or 40 times over the last, since it's been out. Because it's an entertaining movie. I like the characters in it. I think
the humor.
It's absurd. But
do I think in the real world that the lies and the level of lying is okay? No.
And it always blows up.
But that's every Hallmark movie.
The problem in life, rather than a Hallmark movie, is a Hallmark movie or a movie condenses months of life into days or into a couple hours. In reality, it's like, yeah, you tell a lie now, it might not come out in 20 years, but can you imagine the amount of damage it's like that lie took root and brought forth weeds, and in 20 years, you've got to deal with you don't just have to deal with that lie, you have to deal with everything that erupted because of it.
Which is the point of that, the forever side effects.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I like a good analogy because you can start driving deeper, and in that, to a degree, like to take it medically rather than mentally and emotionally, when you tell somebody the truth rather than a lie, and it hurts, because often, like going back to the cancer thing, it's like telling the people you care about that you've got a terminal disease, that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt you, it's going to hurt them. Mm-hmm. But by giving them the truth, they can start to move forward in a healthy way. It's like they'll have to deal with the emotions that come up and the things that are going to come up, but they can do it honestly, they can do it healthily, and they can go through the process well. In the same way, it's like it's a very common thing. Nobody wants to see their little kids, suffering, having a bad time. I get that. But like if a kid is sick and you give him stuff that it's like, okay, I'm going to give you this to take down your fever. Like, well, the fever is there, just like the pain from dealing with stuff is there to help you deal with it, It's like, yeah, you brought the fever down. The fever was fighting the illness. So as long as the fever's down, you're going to be sicker longer. There's that, it's like the lie, in this case, the medication, it's like that lie, it might have, in the moment, made it feel better. Everything's fine. But everything's fine. You're going to be fine. Everything's great. It's like, okay, well, the fever's gone. It's like, okay. But the foundational thing, the thing that's actually wrong, isn't being addressed at all. It's being suppressed. So the damage that thing is doing carries on longer. And like I said, that's why I kind of like that analogy. It's like you can keep driving with it, and it still parallels.
It's good,
which I like.
There's
Me personally, I am not an individual for taking medications until it's absolutely necessary. Personally, and kind of for the same reason that I would just rather tell me the truth and let's deal with it. If you think I'm really screwing up, please tell me that you really think I'm screwing up, and okay, where? Show me where. Let's deal with this. Is that going to hurt? Yeah. Am I going to like it? Nope. But it gives me the opportunity to get better. If I screw up, please tell me I screwed up. Or if you think I screwed up, it's like, I think you screwed up. Explain to me what's going on. Okay, let's do that. And if I screwed up, point it out. In that way, I can get better. I can use that pain. I can use that discomfort to speed along my progress to better. If you just, sorry, my brain just, I'm sorry. I just had a thought. My brain often hits those little offshoots of something that would fit, but is completely inappropriate for this podcast. So I'm not going there, but, and it's like I said, if you're with somebody and let's say I gave you red roses and you don't like red roses. Let's say you like yellow roses. Red roses are kind of You like yellow roses, but you tell me you really love red roses. I'm going to keep getting you red roses. Is that a big deal? No, not necessarily. But there's still, I think I'm doing something nice for you. And every time I get you red roses, you get a little bit more annoyed at getting red roses because you like yellow roses. But I don't know you like red roses because you told me you like red roses. You didn't tell me you liked yellow roses. You told me that you like the red roses, and it's just going to keep going like that. And the more times I get you red roses and you want yellow roses, the longer that goes on, the harder it is for you to tell me that you prefer yellow roses over red roses. And it's like, is that a big deal? No. But is that over a long term? It's like, how much of that gets built up until I give you red roses again, and there's something else that I've done that's, life has happened, or I've done something to annoy you, and all of that pent up, I wanted yellow roses, not red roses, gets added as fuel to something else, and you blow up about this thing over here that doesn't really matter, but it really is this frustration over 20 years of red roses instead of yellow roses that all started from trying to say something nice to make you happy. It's like, it doesn't always mean, it's not always a big thing. A lot of times it's something tiny.
I have something more in line with what you were describing earlier.
Sure, please. I don't mean to hog the microphone. Please do.
Well, I had to process it.
Sure.
So
I've been there, done that.
But I appreciate what you were saying. Yes. And again, that's perspective of
mm-hmm.
truth and lie, and what some people might be more upset by. So you were talking about death earlier, and yes, I have known of people that have kept their chronic illness a secret until they absolutely could not anymore, and seen the affect of that to a family.
Mm-hmm.
With my mother's situation, and if you're newer to this podcast, I'll just briefly say there's previous episodes that talk about it. My mother was diagnosed and passed away very quickly of pancreatic cancer. 11 days after she collapsed at work, she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And she was at her horrid end. I mean, physically, it was nothing but awful from the time she collapsed. Not that, and everything
mm-hmm.
leading up to it was pretty rough too.
And the way we found out she had cancer was she collapsed at work.
She collapsed at work.
Yeah, that was.
And she happened to work at a hospital in the laundry department, so they took her up to the ER, and that's when it started.
And not saying there weren't clues.
There were along the way.
But she didn't share them.
Well, she did.
She didn't share all of them, and she didn't treat it.
She did not mention the blood when she would vomit.
No.
Until she was in the hospital. I did find out about that.
Yeah.
Did I know she was vomiting a lot? Yes. Did she not call me for 2 days because she wanted answers before she called me? That is correct. 2 days. I did not know. 2 days that were taken from me that were at her end. Did I understand her intention? Yes. And then as soon as she told me, I got up there and I made sure she got answers.
Yes.
There was an ER doctor that had implied that he believed it was some form of cancer based on what he saw in the test results, but she needed to be admitted and talk to an oncologist and go through all these steps and stages, and all those steps and stages were useless because they just took time from us, because nobody was brave enough to say, you're dying right now. Until the oncologist did a biopsy. And by then, and ironically, in this timeline that I'm going to describe, is what leads up to what this year will be the celebration of the purchase of our home and moving into it, which was Easter weekend. It was not an April Fool's joke that she was told,
no,
you have weeks left to live.
Yeah.
That was not an April Fool's joke.
No, that was...
weeks to months, I believe.
Even if it was...
weeks to months was the description given to her that day.
Yeah, I want to say, I remember it was like they said 6 months with treatment, and then it became
but that
a
was
couple of months.
With treatment because they weren't banking on treatment really working.
And every time a test came back, that timeline got shorter.
Because by Friday it was she's got days left. Yeah. But I explain all that to say... They were right on the ball with that one. I explain all that to say it was... I understood why she kept from me that she was in the hospital to begin with. Yep, I understood that. Now, the part that I believe is applicable to what you're describing is where she did not want us to tell our brother. My brother, her oldest child. She did not want him told about the hospitalization. And then when she was diagnosed with cancer, she did not want that. And even when on her deathbed, knowing she had days left, she also continued to say, I do not want him told. In the moment, I was not registering the implications of that decision. It was honoring what she wanted. I understood that she probably wanted it more for us than for herself, but my brother was a lot to handle back then. I don't know if he's terribly different from the interaction I've had with him and the things I've heard. It doesn't sound like it. It did not appear to me that he is terribly different because his attitude was the same when our father passed away. But there too, again, my father with the same wishes. I do not want, both of my parents. First is my mother. I don't want my son to know because we share different fathers. She did not want him to know. With my father, it was, I don't want your brother to know and I don't want your sister to know. When he got on hospice, he did not want her to know right away.
Yep.
And then he waited till he was told, you've got weeks left to live, before he said something. And I made him say it at that point. And I said, I'm not doing this for you. I'm not carrying this burden for you like this. She deserves to know. It's coming. It's happening. He was entering the active stages of dying, and sure enough, he died 2 weeks later. I do understand what it's like to carry that kind of a lie and see the implications of it. I have lived it. Well, and my brother to this day does not know that our mother didn't want him to know. No. I didn't tell him. I mean, maybe our sister told him, but I didn't tell him. Yeah. And I didn't tell either one of them about their father not wanting them to know.
Well, and there's something...
They had their reasons.
No, and again, like I said, I'm a bit of an absolutist when it comes to honesty. There are things, though, that other people just don't need to know. I'm not telling them, I'm not saying, and to me, it's like...
That was hard. That was hard.
Is that knowledge going to benefit them or hurt them? Is there any benefit in knowing that? Is any at all?
I think it would have been more drama for my brother.
Yes.
With my mother.
It would have, it would have been...
Our mother.
Yes, it would have been a lot of drama, and it would have caused a lot of pain, and there would have been no benefit.
I think it would have been drama with our sister, with our father.
And but at the same time, not telling them, you didn't tell them everything was fine.
No, I didn't.
You didn't seek them out and tell them, oh, no, everything's great. You didn't.
No.
You didn't speak because you were asked not to speak.
And this particular topic in this format, we're not even going to talk about medical lies because that's a whole nother... That's a whole other conversation.
That's drama in its own way, yeah.
The truths that were not told to my mother more readily until they were forced. But... in terms of, I guess we could say that there's differences in these lies, right? There's purpose, there's situation, there's, is this intimacy in a relationship? Is this dying? Whatever those situations are, there are ramifications. It always comes down to there's always going to be ramifications and hurts. And a lie might be a really crappy Band-Aid. But I will live with the ramifications of honoring her. Well, and her choice.
Like I said, you weren't asked to be deceitful. You were just asked not to speak.
Don't tell them.
Yeah, you were asked to speak about something that was her job to talk about.
Oh, it came at me though after she passed.
After, yes.
All the questions.
Yes.
How are you going to dance around it? You're not going to. But all that said...
well, and the truth of the matter really is like it happened really fast. And
I don't remember what I said in the moment. It just wasn't the truth. The whole truth.
Yeah.
My point being, now I'm in a position where I can walk people through in a different way why they want to be deceptive.
Mm-hmm. See, there's
always a why.
If you're intending to mislead... you're wrong. Like you're going to do nothing. It's going to just cause harm. Misleading somebody, intentionally being deceptive, is always going to lead to harm.
And
it's just you
I want you to be assertive, and I'm so glad. But why are we doing it like this? Can we choose something else, please?
Yeah, but yeah.
But those are not my choices.
No.
Those are not my choices. Those are absolutely against my recommendations.
Well, and I'm always... one of my ways I explain it to people when I tell them, it's like, okay, if you're doing something that you feel the need to lie about, you already know you shouldn't be doing it. So why are you doing it?
And again, I'm not talking about adultery. I'm just talking about...
No, I'm talking... well, like...
I'm not even talking about, like, gambling or drinking or anything like that. It's just...
Like...
hobbies that cost time, apparently.
Well, yeah. Time, money. Okay, want to get a motorcycle.
Sure.
Sure.
It'd be like you going and spending... time buying part by part to build your motorcycle and not telling you.
And not tell you. It's like when it comes out and you know it's going to come out.
To be honest though,
well,
if it didn't affect the household budget, I would not care.
Well, okay, yes, but if I was intentionally keeping you in the dark about all of it, then it raises the question, what else am I keeping you in the dark about?
I know.
Which raises the question, and if you can keep me in the dark about this,
if you lie for me or about me, then you'd lie to me.
Yeah, and it's like, and if you could be deceitful in that way about this thing, that it's like, okay, let's say you're adamant against me getting a bike and riding, and I did it anyway without a conversation. It's like, okay, you're going to disregard my feelings, you're going to disregard my thoughts and how I feel about this, and what, and you're willing to jeopardize the health of our relationship over that? Yeah, by all means. You've now you've crossed a line. Now, there's also if you're married to a cop or an EMT or a firefighter or anything, security, whatever, and you ask them how their day was, it's like, everything's great. Everything's fine. It's good.
Everything's fine.
Like, they might not be telling you that they had to, pull a kid out of a wrecked car that day, or they watched a family of 4 get taken out by a school bus, or whatever.
I always say my day was fine, even if it wasn't.
There is. I don't approve of being like that. I think, in all honesty, it would be better. It's like, I had a rough day, and I'm not going to talk about the specifics, but I had a rough day. I think is a much better way to handle it, because in that moment, it's like, they don't need to know the details. In fact, their life is better off probably not knowing all the details, but they do need to know that you're going through something.
Fair enough.
I can appreciate everything was fine. Everything's fine. I'm good. Because in that moment, I'm good. The stuff I saw, not so much. Physically, I'm good. Mentally, that's another story. I think you're better off. If I'm having a rough day, it's like, I'm having a rough day. Nothing in particular that, it's like nothing that's just whatever. I'm just having a rough day. I can say that. And you, okay. Well, it's like, okay, you need a hug. Here you go. Come here. It's like, that opens, leaves the, I'm not shutting you out, and I'm not sharing because all of the information would just cause you harm and not help either one of us. But I'm letting you know that it's there. And maybe I'll talk about it later. Maybe I won't. Maybe you'll hear about it. Maybe you don't. And we can just move on with our lives. But there's it's the intent again. It's like, I'm not being,
intent
in saying that,
matters.
I'm not being deceitful. I'm telling you the truth. I can't talk about it right now, or I might not be able to talk about it ever.
Well, that is my life. You know that.
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm aware, but
not really.
But by your saying, it's like, I'm good. I had a rough day.
I'll usually say something like, it's been a long day,
and I'm not going to talk about it.
It was okay enough.
Yeah.
Had better. Had worse, things to that extent.
It gives me the opportunity. It's like, is there anything I can do? Do you need anything from me? It's like,
sometimes I'll tell you how grateful I am for you.
Sure. Well, and
then you'll know.
And I know. And at the same time, it's like, is there anything that I can do?
I would tell you.
Because my job for you is to be there to support you. And your job is ideally the same for me. It's like, ideally, that's what we do. We support each other. We work together and we get through stuff.
Ideally.
And there are times when I can't share. Either because I'm not allowed to share, or because I'm not mentally or emotionally in a place where I can do that. But I can still let you know it's been a rough day.
Yes.
And that's still being honest. It's like, you don't always have to, just because you're being honest doesn't mean, I can give you the dropper full so you know what's going on. I don't have to dump the bucket over your head.
That's a good way to put it.
You don't need to be unloaded on, and, like, yeah, nearly got T-boned today. It's like, idiot drivers, rough day. I'm good. It's all good. It's fine. And here comes the dog again.
And there comes the dog again.
You can hear her jingle.
We should
anyway.
wrap up.
Anyway, we're good. We're good. It's all
Sorry.
good. Yeah.
We went a little over. That's okay. You
Still
wanted
not a
to
record.
get to a point.
Still not a record.
Yeah, we didn't
Not even
get
close.
to a record.
Anyway.
We could keep talking, but we're not. We're going to be done.
Yeah.
And I think she's starting to get antsy because she needs to go out, but it's raining.
Yeah.
So.
Which means she won't go outside unless we do.
Correct.
Yeah. Because if she's getting rained on, somebody else better be suffering too. Dog ownership.
Anyway.
Spoiled toddler. Anyway. So, anyway, with all that being said, I'm Fix It.
I'm Feel It.
We hope you join us in the future.
Until next week.
Y'all have a great one.